BeatsbyLonza here with a new video on a couple of personal housekeeping rules that you should take into consideration to follow when you are selling your used MPC product. So this will go for the MPC One, the MPC Live 1 and 2, the MPC X, the MPC Key 61, and MPC Key 37. All right, so here's a couple things. I've been online and I've been hearing people saying, oh, I'm having trouble updating my MPC One and I'm having trouble mounting my SD card or seeing my my hard drive or anything on my computer from my MPC One. So let me tell you what the problem is. The issue with the MPC One is that the power cord that it comes with, and I'm not sure if this is the original power cord that came with this because I bought it used, but every MPC One that I bought, and this is my second one, has came with a power brick such as that, and it looks the same. It looks the same. It fits. It cuts the power on to the MPC One, but this power cord does not produce enough power to make your MPC One update as it should, or it doesn't produce enough power for you to for your computer to see it on controller mode. Okay, so let me tell you the fix. Let me tell you the fix to this. If you have an MPC Live 1 or 2, MPC X, or a Akai Force, what you want to do is plug that power cord into your MPC One. That cord will give you enough power to facilitate the updating of your MPC One. Now, make sure that your other computer printer cable or whatever it's called is a compatible 3.0, 2.0 cable, and yeah, just make sure you have a new cable, because sometimes that can be an issue too. But most oftentimes, 99.9% of the time, it's going to be this freaking power brick. So let me cut my MPC, let me plug it up, cut the MPC One on, and we'll talk about some housekeeping rules that you should do for the MPC One. Alrighty, so now as you can see, I am not in my typical studio today. I'm at my other office, and I've run across, I bought a lot of used MPC equipment, and the reason that I buy a lot of used MPC equipment is because a lot of the times you technically get a lot of good deals off of used equipment, because some people don't go through the process of really learning how to use the MPC One. They get frustrated. Let me take that back. Some people don't go through the process of learning the MPC makeup and the way that it works, and they give up on it because they run their MPCs out of internal memory. Now, I've said this in many forums online about the MPC. You should never save any information to the internal hard drive of your MPC. Now, what I mean by that, when I say internal hard drive, I mean when you buy your MPC One or your MPC Live or your MPC Live 2 or your X, 37, 61, any of those, and you plug it up without adding any external gear to it, such as an SD card or a hard drive. When you buy that machine and it's blank straight out from the factory or straight from whoever you bought it from, and you want to automatically get to making music, you should not automatically just go into the MPC and make music. There are some changes that you have to do. So let me talk about these housekeeping rules that you should apply to your MPC. First of all, there's a lot of setting up that you got to do. All right. If you use Splice, you need to apply your Splice account to the MPC. If you are using if you're using a hard drive that you'll put in the bottom of your machine, the MPC One does not have it. They should have done that, but they didn't, because this machine is made for a specific audience that I guess they don't require to have that. So you're gonna have to do some maintenance. You're gonna have to do some upkeeps. You're gonna have to do some mounting to get your hard drives to work correctly in your machines. But what I'm telling you is that when you go into your, you should, okay, let me back up. First, when you log in and you go into your screen where you have your home screen where the main is, okay, you're gonna be at this screen. All right, so first thing you should do is tap on your menu button and you're going to go into, I don't want you to see my serial number because I don't want you to see anything on the serial number side. But down at the bottom here, where in the preferences on the activations, you need to make sure that that button, that screen right here where it says current download drive, you need to make sure that that drive is not internal, because everything that you save on your machine from this point on will go to be saved specifically in that spot. Now, this is the activations for the plugins and content. Now, I would make this drive your SD card or your hard drive. And in the space of talking about the MPC One, you don't have a hard drive, so you're going to be saving it to your SD card. Now, if you have a USB powered external hard drive that you plug in, now you can also assign that as your content download drive. Those are the places that you should be saving your files, your expansions, and anything that you're going to put on your MPC. You do not want to save into the internal of your MPC. Now, here's the second thing that you should be doing. All right. So if you're going to save, if you're going to sell your MPC equipment, the second thing you should do is to make sure that in your preferences, where it says reset preferences, you should reset the preferences so that it goes back to factory settings. You do not want to sell your freaking MPC with your information in it. You also want to log out of the InMusic account so that your information does not go to the next person that you sell your MPC to. Okay, you want to log out of that. That's the third thing you're gonna do. Now, here's the last thing that I'll tell you need to do. You're gonna go back to the main, right? You're gonna make sure that when you go back to the main, that there is nothing in that project that after you reset, you're gonna make sure that there's nothing in that project. That will tell you whether it reset correctly. The second thing you're gonna do, you're gonna tap on menu, and you're going to go to your browser, and you're gonna go to places. Now, what you're gonna do is, you see I have my SD card here. You're gonna eject your SD card, and you see it says internal, and then the SD card is gone. You're gonna remove that SD card. Unless you're gonna sell your freaking MPC with an SD card in it, you should remove your SD card. Now, the second thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go to internal, and this is where I find a lot of issues and problems. Okay, so when you go into the internal, and see, if you look here, whoever had this MPC prior to me had a Splice account set up. So if you go into Splice, there's nothing in the Splice. So that's good, because I cleared this machine out when I got it. All right, the second thing you're gonna do is you're gonna tap on, you're gonna go to places, back to internal, and then you're gonna click on MPC documents and open. Now, when you go into MPC documents, you're gonna make sure that in your projects that there are no projects in there. And if there was a project saved there, what you would do from this point here, you click on the project, and then you tap Shift. And what Shift will do, it will give you options to browse, sample assign, delete file, and then you can get drive info. And what you do is you delete your projects out of the internal if you by chance saved any files into the internal of the MPC. Now, the only way that you can get those files off of the internal is to open those files up in your MPC and then resave them. Save project as. See that? Save project as. You're going to save the project as and save them to your SD card, or you're going to save them to your external hard drive that you plug back into the USB. And so once you save those program files, now you'll never need them again on this machine that you're going to sell. So once you've done that, like I said, you go back to your browser, back to internal, in projects, and you make sure your projects is clear. And you can check the other things like progressions. You can check your exports, see if there's anything in there. But yeah, you want to check everything that's in that internal drive to make sure that there's nothing in there that you saved, because most people, their machines are running badly because they have saved information into their internal drive, and now their MPC is running slow or giving them errors and stuff because they have saved stuff into their internal. Now, a quick way to see what is on your system resources is you click on the button right there that says it looks like like a battery with lightning bolts coming out the side. You're going to click on that. And then as you can see, just on my screen alone, that drive right there is full. And it says internal 97.7 megabytes free of 3.9 gigabytes. So that means that there is something in the internal that that is taking up space. So I'm going to have to go and take a look at that and see if it's just specific, if there's something specific that is taking up that space. So that is the housekeeping tips that I'll give you for when you're going to sell your MPC product to somebody else, so that the next person that gets your MPC is not running into issues when they get those MPCs. So thanks for watching the video, and thanks for hanging out. BeatsbyLonza. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on my page to be notified when new videos populate. Peace. All right. So previously, when I showed this video, I was on the screen where it showed my serial number and all that stuff. So I just wanted to remake this portion so you can see what I actually did. So in the preference menu, you're going to go to activations, and then here you'll see that you make sure that the content download drive is actually your SD card or your USB external hard drive that you plug into the back, if that's where you're going to save all your files. That is where you want to make sure that is located on the preferences tab. Now I'm going to put this back here, go back to info. There we go. So you can't see my serial number. And then also you want to make sure that they moved around, so that's no longer there again. So it used to be where you can assign your hard drive somewhere else in the preferences, but they changed it, so that's good. So that's that. So again, if I didn't make myself clear about how to make your MPC work, here's the order that you got to do. All right, first, when you get your MPC One, you need to make sure that you have downloaded the latest update to update your MPC software on your computer. Once you have done that, there is a network MIDI driver for the MPC One. You need to download that latest driver and update your computer with that MIDI driver. Now, the second thing you're going to do is you're going to replace that power cord with the power cord from the MPC One or the MPC Live. The MPC Live 1 and 2, or MPC X, or the Akai Force. Excuse me. Those power cords provide more power for your device and will ensure that your device will update and your device will do all the things that it needs to do to see your computer in controller mode. Now, once you have updated your MPC One and once you have updated your computer, after you're on the latest firmware, you will not need to have that power cord again. Now you can go back to using the regular power cord. But for that initial setup, you need a more powerful cable. It is not going to pick up with this cord because it's going to say connect your power cord to the computer. It's not going to register that is giving it enough power. That's something that Akai has to fix because that's just no good. Okay. The last thing you're gonna do is that after you've downloaded those freaking drivers and you've updated your computer, and then you are able to go to update firmware on your computer, then it will, once you have plugged in your LAN cable to get to the internet, then and only then will your MPC One update. Again, you have to have the power cord hooked up on the freaking first try, or it will not work. And this is for the MPC One. Don't know about the MPC One Plus because I don't have it, but I know for sure this is my second MPC One, and it has done the same thing. It has done the same thing twice. So that's how you do that. All right, peace. Alrighty, so as I was talking about earlier of clearing your MPC of files that's on your internal, as you can see, it says in my internal, there's an expansion folder that says MPC One, and there is a shit ton of expansions that are saved, programs. They're not expansions, they're programs that are saved on the internal, and that's why I'm out of space. So what I'm gonna do is, because I have a lot of these and there's a lot of them that I don't need, but the ones that I'm going to, this is what I'm gonna do. Let me show you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to one that I think that I don't have, and so let's go to this DMV Rampage. So I'm gonna click load, right? I'm going to load it up to my MPC program. And if you can see right here in the drum program, I'm going to scroll down to that DMV kit. And then I did a quick listen to it. It doesn't sound like something that I've heard before. So I'm going to hit the pencil icon, and then I'm going to save current program. And I'm going to go to my SD card. I made a folder called kits. I'm going to save it in the kits folder. And so then I'm going to go back to the browser, and then I'm going to hit shift. It has delete file, delete this file. And so now that file is gone. So this is the housekeeping that I'm talking about that you should do to your MPC. All right, I'm gonna be here for a little bit. I'm gonna delete as many as I can. Bye. As you can see, I just deleted all the programs that was left inside the MPC One, and I went from 20 megabytes to 254.5 megabytes. So that's an improvement, but still, I mean, I don't have a gig left, so I'm gonna go look one more time to make sure that I didn't miss anything that I just absolutely can't live without on the internal, and then I'll come back. So, if most of y'all don't know this already, WAV files are huge freaking files. So anytime you save a freaking sample and it's a WAV file, it's gonna take up space. And if you can see right here on internal expansions on MPC One, there's a shit ton of freaking standalone WAV files that was loaded to the MPC. So I don't need them shits. So I'm gonna delete all those out, and that should clear me some space. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can hold the phone because I'm recording on my phone. I'm gonna see if I can record while showing you the process. Now, if you hold down shift and hit delete, file and delete, you can just keep on going. As long as you know you don't need any of those files, you can just keep on going just that fast. Now, I've been doing this about 2 minutes in alphabetical order, and I'm all the way from A to now I'm in the E's. So I'll be done pretty soon. Well, not really. There's a lot. Another thing I'll tell you, just because you reset your preferences to factory settings, it doesn't clear the internal of the MPC. You still have to go in and clear the internal. So just a word of advice. You can take it or leave it, but you know, try to leave your product the way that you got it before you turn it over to somebody else. You don't want to turn it over to somebody else with the mess. Yeah, so you don't want to leave a mess for the next person. Just a good, you know, rule of thumb of housekeeping. So I do this to all my equipment whenever I'm getting ready to sell it or get rid of it. If it, you know, something like an MPC, I definitely don't want to give away my expansions that I paid hard or earned money for. And I, you know, just think it's a good rule of thumb to kind of get it as best as condition as you can. So I'll be here for a while. I'm in the H's. So if you know your alphabet, you got a long way to go. So yeah, I just spent 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes deleting all those files, and I just went ahead and just deleted the whole folder out of there and made sure there was nothing in it. And now I have 1.5 gigabytes free. So at least half is back in internal. So that should give my machine some